The topic of the best Linux distro is a very difficult one, and I think if you ask 100 people, you'll get about 100 different answers. For me personally, the idea of a best distribution of best Linux is the usability, the ease of use. I primarily want to just open my computer, just open my laptop, boot it up, and I just want to use it. I don't want to struggle with it. I don't want to have issues with it. I don't want to research anything. I just want to use it because I have things that I need to do and I just want to be able to do them. That is my primary metric. Everything else kind of comes second. I just want things to work and be easy, be straightforward. And for me, Mint does that. Again, there have been few things that I needed to figure out or learn. That is, of course, something that you will always have to do when you're doing or trying something new. That is inevitable. But for the most part, for like 90% of the time or even more, everything has been very simple and very straightforward. Everything works without issue. Everything works out of the box. Everything is easy, straightforward, and simple. So for me, that is honestly fantastic. And that is why I personally would consider Linux Mint to be one of the, or if not the best distro. Again, I haven't really tried any other because, as I stated, that is not a priority for me. I want something that works. I found something that works, and I just use it. Also, the second thing is the second metric by which I kind of measure this, like the best, right, is simply how familiar it is. Because, again, the simplicity is also in familiarity, right? You don't want something that is completely alien, that is very unrecognizable or very hard to understand. And for me, honestly, the feeling that I got, uh, again, there are some things that are very different. For example, I have my system settings or like software manager. All these things are kind of somewhat different than what you have on Windows, or I would actually, it is pretty much the same. At least I just never kind of used that. But basically, when I switched to Mint, I got this feeling that I didn't really switch at all. Like it's still about the same thing. And for me personally, it was something of a letdown because I wanted something fresh, right? But at the same time, it is good. It is amazing because you don't have to spend too much time learning anything or like learning new habits and all that. It's just jump in and keep doing whatever you are doing, right? So that is, again, two metrics that I use. And that is the metrics that lead me to kind of this conclusion that Linux Mint is the best distro, at least, again, based on those metrics. Again, there could be other, and there are undoubtedly, like Bazite, CatchyOS, whatever, you name it, right? That are better for specific things, for example, like gaming or whatnot. But those two metrics are primary for me, and based on them, this is the way to go, and this is what I would recommend if those two metrics are also your priority. So yeah, hopefully this kind of puts this debate to rest, for at least in minds of other people, right? Because choosing a right distro can be a nightmare. Just thinking about all those different distros is a nightmare for a lot of people, myself included.